just a screw on a grain of rice.
Well, here we go. It's a little video. This is the watch that you sent me. Beautiful. Dually, we'll call it. The Elgin down here is the one that we're fixing, and as you can see, I've got a replacement movement all oiled up and ready to go. We have to remove the stem and the crown from this one. And I just wanted to draw your attention to these screws right here. I don't know if you can see that, but that is a screw. Yeah, just for reference, that's a quarter. So just very, very, very tiny screws. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the other one out of the case here. And there are few ways to do this. This watch was unique in that it had a case that served as the foundation for the movement as well. You see that? Movement just is right in that case. And we'll pull that movement out, and you can see it's been worked on a number of times. You can see that here. Somebody's written dates in here of when it was serviced, and it's all in felt tip, so it's got to be recently. And we'll set aside this case. You can see those screws that I just showed you are there and there, and they hold this face on. The donor watch, we'll call it, had this face. So you could put your own case and face on these movements. You can see the stem and crown on this one are much better than the stem and crown on the donor watch. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. First we're going to take off those hands because we've got to take the face off. And those hands are removed with very special tools because it's easy to scratch the face. We use a piece of plastic and these two tiny pry bars to get underneath those hands and lift them right off like that, because obviously we need to replace those hands back on the movement when we're finished. I cannot describe to you how tiny everything is here. Suffice to say, even in magnification, it is difficult. So, oh good, it's not, these screws are not hammered in. A lot of people, when they work on, it looks like that screw is missing. No, it's there, it's just black. Okay. There's that face, and that'll go back on this movement once we've taken the stem and crown out. Which is just with that one right there. This new movement is just so eager to run. Nice strong spring. And you can see they're different sizes. So This one goes in the donor watch. Just like that. You'll notice that the minute wheel came off the face of this. Came off the face of this one. They're really in about the same condition. They're really in about the same condition. Except this one wants to run. Okay. Well, let's get a face on that, the hands on that, and then we'll wind it up and see if it'll work for a good day or two, or the rest of your lifetime. Rest of your girl's lifetime. This is an heirloom you're going to pass on to those wonderful daughters of yours. Okay. Stem always goes to the right, face goes on like that, therefore there are the little holes lining up, which is perfect. Let's make sure that everything is good on the face before we do that. Minute wheel, hour wheel, everything is fine. Okay, now drum roll please, because this is where these grains of rice, and they are smaller than a grain of rice, go in. Oh, it's so difficult. Look at that. I mean, they just infinitesimally small screws. It is always comforting to know that someone has done this before. I mean, that is just one of the tiniest screws. It's difficult to even see where the slit is on that. There. That was one. Let's get a second one in here. Man, it is just hard enough to even stand them up. Just so difficult. Okay. Let's make sure it's still running, which it is. Now before we put the hands on, we can, because the case is the body. Okay. Let's try that again. Much better. sure it's just clear of the base. Just like that. Most of the time the numerals are proud of the base. This one, in this case, I think they're brass. Okay, line that back up. And that's us, right there. It's ready to go back into the watch. It should be ticking right away. I'll set it, wind it, and let it run for a couple days. Make sure that it's going and not stuttering. Let's see, we got, what time is it right now? It's 11:29. So 11:29. Wind that guy up. Now I don't know how accurate this is going to be, but we'll find out. This goes back into the case just like that. And there we go. And it's sticking right away. All right. That's your beautiful watch. Fixed. I believe I got that movement for 20 bucks. And I'll send this right out. Really is beautiful.